actually was a very emotional weekend that we went to. Because of privacy and consent issues, we cannot show you the footage of actual very sophisticated microprocess observation scheme. And we trained the actors to reproduce those symptoms.
In that kind of situation. But if the person is accusing their neighbor of theft and has a gun in their house and thinks these things, well, this is very important, and we need to get the family's attention, and we need to treat the psychosis. And whose problem is it? Because sometimes the education, relationships, we know that persons with dementia are unfortunately at high risk for abuse and neglect. We have risk, we want to intervene. So the other things I often mention, is it understandable based on the person's functional abilities? And is this behavior understandable based on who the person is? So, if the person hated country music, right? I know sometimes we just put on classical music all day. Well, that would drive me nuts. I have dementia. So, yeah. Okay, so that's another tool that's used. So those two, the first two I often use, and then there are a little bit more literature-specific stuff that go in next.
Okay, hello, my name is Andrea Ubell, and I'm the Director of Programs and Client Services at the Alzheimer's Society of York Region. And I'm very pleased to have been presenting today at the CMHI second conference on dementia, and I presented a keynote address today about the new Ontario Dementia Strategy, and talked a little bit about the federal strategy that came out this year as well. I was hoping we'd have more details to provide, but we're still waiting for the fleshed out document to be presented. So I talked a little bit about dementia and what it looks like and how it impacts our economies, and the number of people that are affected by the disease, and some of the ways that the government's looking forward at helping invest in more services and provide education and helping the people in the community who are living with dementia.
So what's dementia?
What is, you want me to take?
Yeah.
Okay. Dementia is a neurological, actually dementia is a group of symptoms, really, and the symptoms are memory loss, judgment problems, understanding problems, language problems, sometimes some psychiatric presentation or symptoms, and there are many different reasons for the dementia. So there are many different diseases, things like Alzheimer's disease, frontotemporal dementias, Lewy body disease, sometimes Parkinson's has a dementia related to it, vascular dementias, and sometimes people have what we call a mixed dementia, so they may have one or two things going on. It's a progressive, irreversible, fatal illness, unfortunately.
Does that happen to the old age only, or?
The biggest risk factor is age. The older you are more at risk of developing dementia, but it is not always an older person's disease. Currently in Canada, we've got over 500,000 people living with dementia, and 70,000 of those people are under the age of 65.
Okay. So it's curable, and then what's the...
Yeah. Unfortunately, we do not have a cause, so we do not have a cure yet. It is progressive, it moves, it gets worse over time, and unfortunately people will die with the disease.
I see. So is that like health industry or health association related? I mean, helping to solve dementia?
Well, we're getting better at understanding what's going on with dementia, and people can live actually quite well with dementia for quite a long time if they have the right supports. And there are certain things that you can do to maximize your life style if you're living with this illness. One of the things is exercise. It's also good at helping to prevent the disease, not completely, but it can put it off a little while. We do have diet. There's information on diet can be helpful. Staying socially active and trying to stay engaged in your community. And we do have some medications that are available to treat the symptoms but not cure the disease.
Any government support for some family who have family member who dementia problem?
Well, that's what we're talking about today, is this dementia strategy, which will be an investment of $101 million over the next 3 years in the province of Ontario. We're just waiting to see how that money is going to get spent over the 3 years.
Okay, last question. If someone they have dementia problem or someone they have family member have dementia problem, what's the normal approach?
What they should do? Well, one of the things, I think, if families suspect that their family member is having some difficulty, or if they themselves think that they're having difficulty, the one thing I would do is talk to your family doctor, because an early diagnosis, we know, can lead to living with this disease better and living well with the disease. So the earlier the diagnosis, the earlier you get support, the better.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fine, anytime.
All right.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.